Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Chats with Children. You will notice that I'm not in my office in Surrey today, but I'm in a hotel room in Barcelona preparing for the Cell and Gene meeting on the Med tomorrow. But today, my guest is Antonio Cortes, who is a Senior Business Development Director and Partner for Ibero-America. And he is going to tell us a bit more about Latin America and the regulatory landscape. And the reason we're going to talk about that is because ISPE Europe is having its annual meeting in Spain next week in Madrid, and PQE are one of the sponsors there. So we thought we'd do a Latin-related interview today. So, Antonio, it's lovely to see you. Hola, how are you, my friend?
Fine, thanks. I'm very happy to stay with you.
I'm very happy to see you as well. So before we start talking about Latin America, would you mind, first of all, giving viewers a quick background on your own role? And then secondly, give me a quick overview of PQE Group.
Okay, yes. Let me introduce myself just very quickly. I'm Antonio Cortes and partner of PQE Spain. And currently I'm working as a business development director for the Ibero-American region at PQE Group. To answer your second question and to give a brief overview about PQE Group, yes, for these almost 25 years that the company has been operating as a provider of integrated quality solutions in the life science industry, PQE Group has established itself as a global lead company in the international market, providing technology solutions, regulatory compliance services to help and satisfy the need of our customers, based on the request, on the requirement requested by international and national authorities. The expansion of PQE across 4 continents, it's thanks also to the 28 operational offices that we have opened around the world, and more than 1,500 consultants on board. It have made possible to achieve the mission and values of PQE Group.
Brilliant. Now let's talk about Latin America. So from your own experience working in Latin America for a number of years, what are the major differences that you've seen with the pharmaceutical sector and the regulatory landscape in Latin America in comparison to North America and Europe?
Oh, this is a very interesting question. During more than 10 years that I have been working in Latin America with Latin American markets or with Latin American countries, I have seen a strong evolution of the pharmaceutical and medical device industry, looking more and more to expand their business into high international regulated markets. It could answer a little bit your question, where the difference existing 15 years ago between LATAM and Europe, USA pharmaceutical sector has been reduced consistently.
Right.
It's evident, from other side, it's evident that most of the local pharmaceutical companies are developing their strategic business product registration plans to enter to other LATAM markets. And why? And why as a priority? Because from a regulatory point of view, the barriers are lower than the barriers defined or proposed by other authorities like EMA or FDA. However, from economical perspective, during this last period of time, many companies have focused their target in richest markets such as Canada, APAC region, and so on, thanks also to their competitive production costs.
Well, that's interesting you say that, because you said just now that obviously the regulatory requirements are maybe not as stringent as the FDA and the EMEA in Latin America. Does that have an impact in the quality and the safety of the products which are produced in Latin America?
Yes, they have a very impact on it. And keep in mind that the predicate rules applied by the different regulatory entities in Latin America can differ notoriously between countries. For example, countries like Mexico or Brazil are presenting a more restrictive regulations regarding the requirements requested by local authorities of other countries such Central America or Caribbean region.
Right.
From other hand, in the middle, we can find also countries like Chile, Peru, Colombia, that currently are increasing their regulatory standards in order to be aligned with the international requirements. From other side, it's clear, it's visible that more and more Latin countries are looking for a regulatory harmonization that can assure the quality of their products, the safety of their patients, and at the same time positioning themselves in a more competitive status at the international level.
Antonio, I lost you for a second, so I missed that last sentence you said. So, but you were saying that they position themselves to sort of meet those regulatory requirements, correct?
Correct, yeah.
Right. So one question though is that obviously Latin America, you could say, is all the Spanish-speaking countries and Brazil. So would that be correct to assume that sort of the Latin countries are sort of working closer with, say, Spain, because that's the motherland, so to speak, and with the Philippines and other Latin-speaking, and Mexico and other Latin-speaking countries, whereas Brazil is focusing more on North America and maybe Portugal and so on? Or is that too simplistic a way to look at it?
Yeah, about Brazil, we can say without any doubt that this country differs from the rest of Latin American countries. Not only because they use a different language, they don't use Spanish, they speak Portuguese, is a different language according to the rest of Latin America. But keep in mind that Brazil is a little bit different also for other aspects, such as the culture, such as the mindset that they have. But we must not forget that that Brazil is still the biggest market in LATAM in terms of numbers. So it's the biggest pharmaceutical market in all the LATAM region. And from other side, also the Brazilian people, also the Brazilians, continue to protect the entry of external companies into their local market. So it's not easy. They are a little bit different from the rest of South American countries.
Right, okay. Now, obviously, the last couple of years we've had the pandemic. So what trends have you seen develop in the region? And how are PQE going to help companies in meeting those trends?
Yeah, during the last decade, regions such as Canada, USA, Europe, sorry, has been looking to increase their commercial relationship with the Latin American countries. Latin American countries that have a certain economic stability. And this fact pushed to the local pharmaceutical and medical device industry to align their standards with the international ones, turning them more interesting at worldwide level. About what happens about the pandemic situation, it's clear that the COVID-19 pandemic situation closed the borders in all the South American markets. Borders that now in this moment are opening up again. But this put an alarm on most of the countries, because they see that they need to have an internal strong pharmaceutical market, or an internal pharmaceutical industry capable to supply drugs to the domestic market. And now, what is happening? It's not happening just in South America, it's happening also in other countries. But now in LATAM, there are a lot of planned significant investment that in a short period of time, in a short future, will allow them not only to supply the market, but also to be more competitive for the foreign markets.
So finally, where can, as I mentioned earlier, you are going to PQ are going to be at the ISPE annual meeting next week. So what booth will you be at next week in Madrid, and will you be attending yourself?
Yeah, como español que soy, la parte final de este speech lo voy a hacer con mi lengua materna. Es una lástima y lamento no poder estar la próxima semana en el evento de ISPE en Madrid, puesto que estoy en otro de los importantes eventos farmacéuticos que se desarrollan en Latinoamérica. Estaré en la Expo Pharma en México, pero tanto el equipo PQE como todo el grupo y la compañía estarán abiertos a vuestras necesidades durante el evento en Madrid.
Fantastic. And for those who don't speak Spanish, basically Antonio was saying he can't be there next week because he will be at an event in Mexico, but we will put details on both the booth at ISPE annual meeting and details on the event that Antonio will be in Mexico above the video. So if you happen to be at either of those events, you can still catch up with someone from PQE and talk about some of the issues we discussed today. And Antonio, finally, if people can't make any of the events that PQ are attending in the near future, where else can they get more information?
So if you need more information, you can call directly to me, and you can see, you can search about our website, where you can find all the information about PQE, about our services, and also the history of PQE, that it's a very interesting history working during these 25 years on the market.
Brilliant. Well, Antonio, thank you very much for taking the time out to talk to me today. It's been a pleasure meeting you. I wish you safe travels to Mexico next week. I hope you have a fantastic trip and event. And there you go, viewers. If you are at the ISPE annual meeting next week, check out the PQE booth. I think it's booth 85. And if you're not there, but you're at the event in Mexico, and sorry, I don't speak Spanish, so I couldn't translate what the event was in Mexico, then the link will be there and you can check out the PQ booth there. So if you can't do any of that, then you can go to the website or to the LinkedIn page. So Antonio, once again, thank you very much. Safe travels, my friend. And thank you, viewers, for watching. Until next time, stay well and stay safe. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. Bye.